I know you just put up to the bar, but we closed.
Come on, man. You gotta be able to give me a shot, man. Come on.
You look like you need a drink, man, but I hate to tell you this, man. We about to close.
So you need to tell me all these people out here, they got drinks and they got shots, but I can't get nothing. The bar closed that soon?
Okay, man. I don't know what else to say. I got this shorty half my age at the crib, and I'm trying to get to it. But last call was 10 minutes ago.
You know what? It's alright. Don't even worry about it.
All right. Tell you what. I'm gonna get you one drink. Does it look like you need
one drink? I can do one drink. I can do one drink because I really yeah.
Hey man, anything man. Look like you got a lot on your mind and you need a friend right now. Pour it on me. Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome to Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome.
Hey.
She always do that. But we gonna tell you the sponsor tonight is who? My man, Craftmatic. And what did he write? Activate your mind. Why is that important to me? My show is founded on something of principle. And he wrote a book that gives us that principle. That lets you know how deep he is. But I'm gonna let him tell you for himself. I'm just honored to have him in my studio.
I appreciate that, Smooth Jay.
Always, my man. Always.
All right. Once again, my name is Stacy Kraft, and I wrote this book called Activate Your Mind.
Yes.
And ultimately, what I wanted to do is to give people a tool, a self-help tool, to elevate their thinking.
Yes.
If you're sitting in your living room and you're dealing with issues like self-love, or self-worth, or maybe you're sitting in your living room. I know on many occasions over the years, I've woken up and thought to myself, Stacy, your vision isn't clear enough. Or Stacy, you don't think big enough. Or Stacy, you got to be more productive. And there's probably 100 things that we could say to ourselves that would help us to elevate our lives, would help us to move forward in the way of success. And so I went and created a topic on every single one of these issues. I got things in here about making right decisions, seeing the outcome as good, finding open paths, receiving answers, finding your treasures in life, ending delays, having a powerful imagination. How many of you ever thought to yourself, I just wish I had a bigger imagination. If I could just think bigger. Right? If I could just find some new answers and some new solutions rather than always dealing with the same stuff. Right?
I got a colorful mindset there, buddy.
I do too.
Maybe come to reality is a little different, but I dream big. Amen.
So, well, some of us don't.
Yeah, I know.
In fact, some of us think big, but we don't really dream big. We want the $1 million, and then 15 minutes later, we're trying to figure out how to pay rent. You know what I mean? Like we gotta have a big, bold mindset, because I think success only comes by way of those who have a huge open door for transformation, a huge open door for how it might come. Right? I have items in here about eating healthy, seeing yourself with a major come up. Right? Have you ever pictured yourself with a major come up? Right? Some of us need to figure out how to deal mentally with tough situations, right? How to deal with not only feeling love, but how to deal with just positive emotions, right? This book is, in my mind, is just a tool to keep our minds centered on what is real and what is true. And what is real and what is true is that you are already a giant. You just have to see yourself as that giant. Yes. You are already smart. You are already capable. You are the good that you desire in life is already possible. Yes. But right now you don't quite believe it. Your belief is kind of disrupted by some things in life. Maybe it's thinking small. Maybe it's feeling small. Maybe it's not ever seeing productive people around you. Maybe it's the friends you have. But in whatever way that you can, and I'm saying in the most mental consciousness way, we've got to think effectively about who we are and what we're trying to achieve in life. And that's what this book brings out. So I'm encouraging you to go get a copy for yourself. It's on Amazon.com. Just search for Stacy Kraft, Stacy, Stacey, and craft with a C, C-R-A-F-T, and you'll find Activate Your Mind there. It's a red cover with a gentleman reading a book, which is all you need to do to activate your mind.
That's right. My man.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jay, for giving me an opportunity to share that.
All day up in here.
I've been getting extremely good feedback on the book.
I'm glad to hear that.
My cousin the other night, who's a real analytical young lady, gave me some feedback, and it was nothing but kudos. It was just positive, and she said it's just lifting my spirit every day. I'm thinking a little differently, and that's what it's designed to do, just a little bit every day. This book is not designed to read front to back. This book is designed for you to go and get what you need today so you can be stronger tomorrow.
That's good.
Yes, it is.
Because we know the average person doesn't read a book.
They might not.
The average person doesn't read one book in a year.
But if
So
they
I
can
can't-
start with this one, that'll make me so happy.
If they can start with one page,
At a
one
time.
chapter at a time, it will actually, may restore. I call it a multivitamin theory, because what we're doing is the body is fed through food nutrients, right? How is the mind fed? The mind fed is through vision and intelligent nutrients. I need to put good ideas in my mind.
Say it.
And the more I put those good ideas in my mind is stronger, healthier, more elastic, more flexible, stronger. And so if you're not reading and you're not putting good ideas in your mind, you've got to find a way to put the multivitamin in your mind, because the mind has gaps. It needs nutrients. It needs loving ideas. It needs ideas of being a winner and finishing first, and confidence, and emotionally strong, and mental stability. If you tell the mind to be mentally stable, it will be mentally stable. But most of us don't know how to operate with the mind, and so we have never told our mind to be mentally stable. But this book will give you a set of tools. It really is a systematic approach to developing yourself in life. And so get it. I think it's going to do something good for you.
That's what's up.
And let's go ahead and introduce the show. This is Bar Talk with Jay.
Yes.
My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay. And we have Miss Ursula in the house with us this evening. And we want to thank you folks for being here with us tonight. Just another opportunity for us to be leaders here in our own community. And tonight's topic, we want to really focus on this relationship thing tonight. Right?
What we talking?
What's a good time frame? What's a good time frame to know somebody before you date them?
Lord, okay. All righty, buddy.
So we're trying to set up the love situation tonight.
Oh, that coming off the
And
door.
of course, as you all know, we always hand it over to the Lord.
Okay.
And so let's do so right now.
Definitely.
Heavenly Father, we just want to thank you tonight for being our God. We want to thank you for love. We want to thank you for peace. We want to thank you for happiness. We want to thank you for the fruits that you provide in our life. We ask you to be here with us tonight, Lord, and speak through us and speak to us on the subject of a good time frame for dating someone. We're asking for ideas. We're asking for wisdom. We're asking for the right understanding, Lord, in order to bring people into our lives and nurture them and have them nurture us, and to expect long-term results. Show us what love and the beginnings of love and even the fruits of love look like through this conversation. We ask all these blessings in your Son's name, Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Amen.
Woo!
Once again, I'm thinking, what am I missing? Right?
No,
Right?
no. You hit some dimes on them.
Yeah. What's a good time frame to know somebody before you date them? Well, let's let the ladies start.
I would be more than happy to give it to her
What does
first.
that look like for you, Miss Ursula? What's a good time frame?
I'm about to have some fun tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's really where you are in life.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's not like something that you just haphazardly do.
Mhm.
When it's someone, when you're ready, or when you are, you feel like you're being led
Mhm.
to be in that type of space and place,
Mhm.
then that will be a good time to start dating. Because if not, you can bring a lot of brokenness
Mhm.
into that environment. You can bring a lot of how you just be all over the place,
Right.
in regards to trying to be somewhere you shouldn't be. So you can bring a lot of just being lost in that environment. So you're being pulled in an environment that you shouldn't have been in. And now it has overwhelmed you, and now you don't know how to come out of it because you shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Great point.
Right.
Great point.
So
Right.
I think those two would be my way of learning
Yeah.
how to get into
I have
space.
often asked the question. I've asked it for those of you who follow the show.
Uh-huh.
How many people got married to someone that they should have never been with in the first place?
Wow. Well, obviously, if you look at the divorce rate,
Right.
and
You can see
the
it
short
clearly.
amount of time they was married,
Right.
I would like to say there are some things that was missing off the rip.
Off the rip.
So
That's right.
yeah,
That's right.
but I love how she said it.
I
Right.
don't.
You
I
don't
feel
know.
like sometimes people grow apart.
We talking about a short amount of time.
Even in a short amount of time, you'd be surprised how
Within a year or two?
because
I think they really wasn't
initially-
always there. I think
So-
it was less.
I feel like it's not always it's not always passion driven. Sometimes it can be goal oriented. You started off in college, you know what I'm saying, and then it led you down two different paths. You could have thought of an invention, or it could have been something dealing with your work environment, or something that took you from home. You know that now you didn't see that individual was needing some kind of support system. You know what I'm saying? They weren't confident enough to be independent when you're out, actually fulfilling what you said initially that you came into the relationship with to do. So I feel like maturity sometimes will break a couple up. Just staying in a one place too long. It started off fun. I didn't think you was gonna stay here this long, and now that I've grown, you're still standing here. The category I have you in now is friend zone, because you're not helping the growth. You're just existing. You kind of like coming for the ride. You're not really making your own path. Not that I'm trying to smother you, but oftentimes in relationships, it has to be something that you guys can agree upon. We might not be compatible, or not. Let's just say we might not agree in a lot of things, but compatibility has to be worked on. It's just not something that
It's always there.
right. Sometimes it's there, and I think that's where the passion comes across. Oh, I looked in his eyes and he looked at mine.
That's the early
You
stage.
see,
That's the early stage.
Yes.
You give somebody
But you should be in the
somebody-
early stages for years. You should not already be going through hardship and and arguing and going after each other. Because if you're there, you was already there.
No, I agree.
So I think again, places and spaces and what you bringing, your value that you're bringing to it, and not forgetting those values, allows you to decide or determine whether or not somebody can come into your immediate circle and you start dating successfully.
Yes, I really agree with that one, because I do say some of the relationships that did not work out well happened when it was more in my space compared to when I was just talking to them. Because again, the conversation was great. I really feel like, it's not always a time frame. It's about how I'm vibing with you. How are we really working together, and are we able to talk about things? And then that let me know that that's something I want to date, or it's something I just want a friend. So the time zone works on how we are communicating. So the ones that I'm able to stay on the phone with for a long time, and I can speak where I feel like they're feeding back into me, I want to know more about them. And then when I'm asking them questions, they feed me. And I'm feeling that we possibly can mesh, But sometimes you meet somebody and they're more secretive. They're more quiet. Now, it's not saying that's a bad thing. I just want to spend more time. Because I hate not knowing. And then I don't like getting into the dark situation and getting closer to a person just to realize they're dark for a dark reason. Feeling the hurt, the pains and things they went through, they're more shallow. They don't want this to happen again, but you're automatically placing me in a place that I shouldn't be your counselor. I shouldn't be coming in trying to fix a problem that you're just harvesting and holding, and that's what you planting. So I'm like, wait a minute, let me take the time here, because
that's good.
I might be entering something that I don't need to see that for a long time. that could be a short time, but if I'm anxious and I just want to be with somebody, I put myself in a place that I shouldn't even put myself because I rushed it.
Right.
It could be back to the lust, looking, or the fact that I want to help, knowing I'm not even in position to do it. You know, and then that's where that hero comes from. And some men, you know, you want to rush in, but you ain't even equipped to be able to help this person. Right.
Then you give it direction. So
Well,
sometimes direction
sometimes-
and guidance, and sometimes just being a listening ear.
Could be a great thing, but that's not always what you would want long term. Sometimes I
Right.
like to help somebody, but I don't want to be in a relationship with you.
Yeah, see.
You know, I noticed I liked you and I liked to have dated you, but I'm seeing you deeply hurt and you're showing a lot of stuff that will probably is repelling me.
Mhm.
And I feel like if I go in on the help, it's going to satisfy her to a point she really wants me. Now she's gravitated to me even more, and I'm not really feeling her as much.
Right.
And that's not fair to her because she's been hurt already. I passed my healing stage. So I'm able to recognize hers. And a lot of time when you recognize somebody else's, you want to help because you've been there.
Right.
But all that help can lead a person astray and like, oh, you must shine on. This is what I needed. But you keep taking from me.
Right.
I'm pouring out. I'm not getting anything back because you don't know how to pour back
Wow.
because you're so hurt. And again, I have to go to the Lord and be like, Lord, what do I do? Because I just don't want to strain. But the Lord's like, I didn't ask you to do all that. You were trying to get into your house and go, wait a minute, buddy.
Right.
You trying to do the most. You gave her good words, but then you trying to back them up with some other things. You know, are you really working in my life? Are you trying to be yourself? You trying to be overly barren? It's an easy prey. Well, I don't want to be easy. I don't want to do nobody.
And
like
nice
that.
guys are easy prey.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, let me sit back.
Nice
But
people
that's
are
why I
easy
say,
prey.
don't always rush. Take time to know somebody.
Right.
And that way it can work out a little bit better compared to the rush. And I really feel like some people put too much of a less of a time or a time frame.
Mhm.
Why am I rushing?
Mhm.
I'm getting older, but I don't need to be with a fool.
Right.
That's something I already should know.
Right.
And conversation should come easy.
Right.
If I gotta keep calling you, can't call me. There you go. Why am I trying to be in a long-term relationship with you and I don't see your effort?
Right.
All I see is I'm putting forth everything. And what I hear now, that's what a man's supposed to do. Don't tell me about a man. Because I don't see what a woman's supposed to do. Because you ain't doing it.
Right.
You telling me about what I'm supposed to do. So
Right.
maybe your daddy taught you what a man's supposed to do. But did your mama teach you something?
Right.
Because you ain't trying to feed me. You ain't trying to show me that I have value.
Mhm.
That I'm worth something.
Mhm.
You know, it's what you can do for me. And a man do this and a man do that. I hear a lot about a man. I don't always understand about a woman because if I open your car door, and this is just a little small nugget for any of y'all that don't know, I open your car door and you ain't trying to reach across and try to help with mine, then we are looking at a situation where it ain't always gonna be fair. I always know a woman like her door open. I really like it when I notice a woman will reach across and at least try to unlock mine or open mine because it's mindfulness. It shouldn't just be one way because then you always hear him say, well, he opened my door that one. We can always forget, but I noticed you never put forth effort to help either.
Yeah.
But it's so quick to talk because this is what you taught. You should have known this. Your daddy didn't teach you better.
Yeah.
Well, what your mama taught you?
Yeah. You know what, Jay? In my years of dating,
Mhm.
here's where the contention comes in, right? Watch this.
I'm listening.
You meet a young lady,
Mhm.
and being a gentleman, we pay for everything.
Sure.
We pay for the date, right?
I have.
We pay for the date. That's what we do,
No
right?
problem.
And so we go out on the second date.
Mhm.
We pay for the date. Not a big deal, right? By the third date, at least by the third, maybe the fourth date, I'm expecting her to step in.
Tip or something.
Something, right?
Oh.
But listen, if she doesn't have any interest in participating in that, she's already showing that she's not equal in the giving program, right?
Mhm.
Like if you take a woman out 4 times and you spend $100, and by the third or fourth time she hasn't said, well, honey, why don't I take care of this one? Or why don't you let me fix your dinner?
There you go. Let me
Because,
cook.
right,
Because I don't have it, but
yeah,
I want to show appreciation.
right.
I definitely
Listen,
agree with that.
Every single time that has manifested itself as that's how she behaves.
Mm.
That's how she acts. She expects to be given to, but she's not a giver.
Right.
right? And so, hell, I like to be taken out too. Don't you? Don't right?
I would.
I want somebody to buy me that too,
I
right?
interject?
So,
Yes, ma'am. We definitely
yeah,
like
this ain't no woman hating. This is a behavioral
Oh, no.
problem. This is a problem where you're starting to interact with a taker, and the taker can only see taking.
Right.
They're not interested in pouring back in, and pouring back in can come in any number of ways and directions. But if you got somebody who's always a taker, then you got to find a way. You automatically know that this is the time frame I get to know whether I should date this person.
Yeah, but let
Right?
it go.
I don't need to. Yeah, I don't need to be dating this person because this person right here, they, we can already see how they operate. Right?
We
You
know
never
too
been in a
much.
situation like that
I don't know.
where you dated a guy and you by the third or fourth day you were like,
I want her mindset where she at right now.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Okay, so thank you guys for having me on the show
Always,
first
always.
And I think this topic is it shouldn't be gender specific, but it should be person centered.
Okay.
Okay. Never underestimate educating anybody in anything. You can be educated at 30, 20, 40. Okay, education is always key. Never underestimate what you can contribute to a individual. Don't use your expectations or level of understanding to seize where this person is in their wherever they are in life.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so let's get back.
Perhaps. Go ahead.
We're
Go ahead.
good.
I got something to say. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. We got you.
Because you can't assume that I know something if you don't know my history.
Right.
Okay. I may not be a giver. I just may, for whatever reason, feel like it would be a disrespect to the gentleman, per se, if I were to step in, because some men do not like headstrong or wealthy women. They always feel like they gotta compete, or you think your money buys everything, or I can handle it, because it becomes a fight with the gentleman by making them feel like they can't provide.
That's
So
a minority situation, but go ahead. We'll talk
it could be, and I'm going to speak from a novice because I can't speak for everybody. I can speak for how I was raised.
That's right.
Right. So I was raised to let the man handle it, right? And the wife is a helpmate.
Mhm.
Now I'm not supposed to watch you drown by no stretch of the imagination,
Right.
right? But in the dating arena, when you first start, you actually are looking to see where you're fitting, in the whole grand scheme, as well as you're getting to know a person, so you don't want to come across as a woman that feels like, oh, I have means, I don't need you to do anything for me. I'm a self-made woman. So you sit back and you play the apathetic and the appreciated role, especially if the gentleman says, I would like to take you out. So whoever requests the date
Right.
is the one who actually take cares the date,
I
right?
agree.
Now,
Perhaps.
even if
Mhm.
you start with okay, he paid for it, so I'm a tip. Again, you got to know your audience. You got to know the environment that you're in. If it's still new, you don't want to play yourself to the point where they feel like, well, I had the date. You ain't think I had the tip? I mean,
Nobody's getting an attitude towards you trying to help.
No.
If you've had that problem, they had an ego issue.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
Right,
that.
yeah.
I'm not saying that it was a problem more so than just getting to know a person. I can feel like, oh, Jay don't have that many clothes, and I met him once.
Mhm.
He don't have that many clothes, and I see him wear the same outfit every day, right? So then I decided to bring a bag of clothes just because I feel like I want to do some good, and in my mind, I'm doing a good job. I'm going to get him some stuff. Nothing I had to buy was something that I think will benefit Jay. I don't know Jay that well. I just met him once or twice. So I go to give it to him.
Mhm.
Jay gets offended and never want to talk to me again. Don't bring her over to my house because, again, you don't know me like that to give me something. What I felt like it was great.
Mhm.
And if you would be paying attention to why you are in my space more so than what I have on, then you'll know I chose to look like this for a reason. Example, I had a lady at church, thought she was doing a really good job. And she literally gave this lady, she had, let's say about 5 kids, right? It was her and her 5 kids. They came clean, They came on time.
Right.
They knew the whole church environment,
Mhm.
but you can tell the lady was low means, right? But
Mhm.
she got her kids to church every time. A lady decided who didn't know the lady,
Mhm.
didn't get to know her, give her kids some clothes. That lady never
Got
returned
offended. Yep, got offended.
because she was offended. So because it may be a good deed on doing the tip, doesn't have anything to do with ego. It has everything to do with knowing the individual and knowing your environment.
Now, let me have some fun with this real quick, Craft. Let you have fun. Yeah, don't worry. Back to getting to know somebody. And again, like I love what you say, and I'm not against it. I like to sway back to from a good point of view to where we got today. Is where I say about a conversation. If I want to go take you on a date, I'm making them plans. You know, and you don't really got to do much. But I'm gonna let you know where we're going, what we're doing. I don't want no surprises. Just in case you got some allergies, I want to know. You know, because that's a caring aspect. And then, like what I told you, I open your door and you don't reach across. You know, that's a conversation piece with me. Come later on. It's not a shame. I just want to know, is this person willing to? But that's why I'm saying take the time to know somebody.
I'm gonna throw a joke in. What kind of car you got, Jay? What's why I gotta lean over and open your
I mean,
door?
obviously it ain't no Mercedes, okay? It ain't not my state.
Nobody does.
But I definitely got a BMW, and you got to pull that head because mine don't open automatically at all. So again, you know, not to say no more about status and quote, but again, I like to know what I'm dating, who I'm dating, and where I want to go. Because my whole thing is when we're going out to date, a lot of time people get the dating aspect a little messed up. I'm still trying to get to know you, and that's why when I plan the date and I tell you where I want to go, I'm making sure you ain't got no allergies.
Correct.
I'm trying to be a gentleman in all aspects where we can build on something.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people use this situation just to get fed.
But could you have asked that question initially and say, hey, honey, I know I did the first couple of dates. Do you have somewhere you would like for us to go that you want to play? And then it shifts the dynamic. Then I can see if she says.
And again, we didn't give all that. Don't get me wrong. We gave a brief. And again, we planned, and then after a while, we look. Well, again, if I'm conversating all the time because I'm trying to get to know you, there's a lot of conversations you can interject and feel free. Because that's what I'm saying about dating before even going out. Where we learn each other. So when you do go on a date, you got something to talk about. Mm-hmm. A lot of people wait till they go on a date to have good conversation. It's like, no, we should have been talking along the way where when we sit down, we're kind of comfortable. Like I would be embarrassed to take a person on a date and they got allergies and that food happened to come out. And it's exactly what she already let me know she got allergies to. At that point, I'm getting in the way. She don't got to say anything. I'm saying take the plate away immediately. Mm-hmm. You know, I want to show her my concern as a protector, mm-hmm. as a person you getting next to, but offer our communication already. Because I asked her these questions, because I want to know. Some people be like, man, he want to know too dang on much. About your food allergies? Really? I ain't asking about your bank account. You can pay. I want to make sure how you trying to kill you on the first date. But I got to return you like I found you. I care enough to want to do some small things to show the care on the upfront instead of just doing what I like.
But you have a hidden agenda.
Well, my hidden agenda is to get to know you well.
No, I'm saying your hidden agenda is by the third to the fourth date. If you ain't caught the meal, you ain't thrown down a couple of dollars for the tip, then you a taker and not a giver. I am looking to see if she fit a I'm seeing if she fit a mold. And unfortunately, these are molds that's out there. Yeah. I don't want her to fit molds. I don't even want to lead her that direction. I want to, if I start off trying to find out your allergies, I'm trying to see if you can see that I am a caring person. Right, but are you also trying to see if that person can't afford to? Being honest with you, you can say you can cook. Care about that. Yeah, you can say you want to know that you're a real helper. Yes, not just somebody who's just receiving. It doesn't. Listen, most of the women that we date can't afford what we do for them. Most of them. Right? So the reality is when a man is entertaining a woman, he's not looking at her potential income. He's not looking at where she's going in life. He's looking for looking for a good woman. He's looking for a helper. He's looking for somebody who's paying attention to the important things. But I I cannot afford it. If I cannot afford to put even a tip on the table, and you got to know me, you know I now have 5 kids. I can't put no money on the table.
Right.
Big Daddy.
Are you gonna not?
But Big Daddy, I'll fix you lunch.
Right.
I'll fix you
See,
lunch tomorrow.
I
You're
didn't
gonna
say
you're gonna
you
find
gonna get lunch.
you're gonna find a way to interject.
There you go.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about you taking me out somewhere.
Right.
Not so. In essence, you got to shift the paradigm.
Well, hold on.
Go ahead.
Even with the shift, I've been out with somebody that told me, you know, I love the restaurant you took me, but normally I can't afford that. So next time we go out, I got a place that I know that it'll cost nothing like that last place you took me to.
Okay.
But you know, I just know because I want to do something for you, but I can't right now. So we had a dialogue that I'm not thinking she's just a taker. At this point, she might not, but she's showing me she cares enough that I don't want you to keep spending all this money.
Right.
And I got other responsibilities.
Right.
But can you at least
And
know
that
that I want you to do this?
What
But
did
this
that
place
come
is
with?
not.
You guys getting to
To
know
know
each
that
other
she's
before
seen-
the date.
The point is that she makes her presence known. And there's too often times where, and you can ask hundreds of men, we done talked to hundreds of men. You ask hundreds of men, they'll tell you that rather than there's some that will just come straight out and, you know, hey, we don't have to go to Ruth Chris every time, you know what I'm saying? Let's go down to the barbecue place. We know what she's saying when she say that. Right? There's some of them that'll say, you know what, you've been doing this, I'm gonna fix dinner for you this week. You know what I'm saying? You've been doing so much for me, I'm gonna fix dinner for you. Or you know what, I was thinking maybe we can go out for, no, you know what, let's watch a movie. Let's watch a movie at the crib and chase. I'm like, oh, I know what she's saying, right? And so when we get to her house, she's gonna have some fruit, some love, or you know what I'm saying? She's communicating, because watch this. Past behavior equals future behavior, and very rarely do people change. And so if you show me early in the game that you are just a taker and you're not a helper, you can see that I spent more in a week than you make in a month, and you're not saying anything, then you're just enjoying the fruits. And you might not even like me.
Right.
You might just be, you know, hey, you just be going out, you know what I'm saying? You might even really be into me, right?
I can't
It's happened over and over and over. But watch this. The person who steps in to say they're a helper in whatever way they say it, that's the person who will help you pay the light bill. That's the person who will save money on groceries. That's the person who's going to do this, that, and the other. We see these patterns over and over and over. We've seen them for years and years and years. It doesn't change. Especially the men who are baller shot callers, right? They make a lot of money and they spend a lot of money, right? They'll tell you early in the game, they can see, oh, next thing you know, she wants this. Next thing you know, she asking me to take her to this place or to that place and to this place and that place. And I ain't really feeling it. She ain't really showing me that she just want to go out. She want to go to these places. Listen, when we look at, is it a good time frame to know somebody before you date them? What we're looking for is the character of the person. It's not about the money. It's not about the things and stuff. It's about a person who, because so many men will tell you the stories of them being taken.
Oh, I got one.
We sat here with 5 guys one night, and everybody had a story, and everybody was experiencing the same thing, right?
Yeah, but I got
when we had the men's group.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
I got one for it though. I had one where it's the opposite. We was talking about a date, and she's like, "Well, don't worry about the date. I'm gonna make it happen." I'm like, "Okay, you know, it's unusual. I'm trying to set the date up." She said, "I'll send you a car." Wait a minute.
I remember this.
Yeah, I remember sending you a black car.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, it's like that now. You get there, and we had very little in common. Conversation so weak because she's used to certain things. Again, had money. That was never her thing, but she wanted me to fit the mold of what the last man was. So I was getting another person's sandwich. And she let that very be known on the upfront. You know, can you handle this? Now I love the fact that she was
ordered for
upfront.
you?
Huh? No, they didn't order. She was just telling me things that she wanted. Yeah, can you make sure you just protect me? You do, but it's more like a control. She let me know up front. I wasn't gonna really be the man. She make enough money that you quit what you doing basically. But of course, she didn't say it. She didn't want to offend me.
Yeah.
She just let me know she doing good in life.
But this role you gonna play.
But right, are you gonna play in this? And again, I had a great opportunity to realize. I had a great meal. I had a great time with her. We didn't date no more. I don't have to take advantage of anybody, and then I don't want to be taken advantage of. So I can understand a woman's point of view when they go out on a date. But when you continue certain things, we're automatically gonna start feeling a certain way. I didn't waste no more time with her, but guess what? She's still good friends with me right now. We can go out, we can eat, and we can have a great time. But I already know I was not trying to be her man. Wasn't gonna happen, but I didn't waste no time. Just saying.
Nobody heard that.
I know it was just supposed to be osmosis. I feel like the women. That's why
you can pull it in.
Understand
it's
that
a talk show.
That was my point exactly.
I figured.
It was, and it drives it home because, in essence, you're a strong man.
Mm-hmm.
Meeting someone who has means, and she does not. She automatically says, "Hey." You might feel like she was doing it because that's how she treated the last guy. But that was her way of saying, I'm interested in you, because nobody's going to pour into you and they're not interested. But what makes it awkward is the mere fact that now the guy's like, okay, what could I do to make my presence known? I'm trying to feel her through, and she don't need nothing. She did need something. It's just that she needed something.
What did she need?
She needed a husband. She needed a man, a male figure, a protector. Just because I may not need means doesn't mean I don't need a covering. Yeah. But you have to go to God for that discernment so that you would know what your role is, because your role never changed. It doesn't matter that I come with Luke. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? If we're together, then we're together. Mm-hmm. You know, so.
But if you start saying non-man things to me, you're controlling.
So I don't know what non-man things mean.
That means you're trying to tell me my role and what I do and what I'm supposed to do. And this how she came, right? We're a third party, you and I, right? This is how she came. Can you do this? This is what I need. Can you do this? If you can do this, then you in the game. Like she coming sizing him up on some shit that ain't got nothing to do with kindness, ain't got nothing to do with willing to work hard on some things. Like she automatically, I've heard the story several times before, right? So
I've seen this on the show too. I don't know if I've seen it on.
And seen it, we did it.
What's her name? John, the lady who used to work with Oprah Winfrey. I can't remember her name. She had her own talk show. She was just talking about this the other day. She said women have had an opportunity to excel beyond men. Mm-hmm. Just bottom line, especially in the Black community, right? Because the Black woman is the highest educated constituency in America. No ifs, ands, and buts, which means they're making the most money. They have the most stable jobs. They have the most stable benefits. Mm-hmm. They have excelled. Black women have excelled over the Black men. Mm-hmm. So what she was conveying to them was that, ladies, you have to get rid of your manly balls. And you got to find a nurturing space. Ayana. Yeah, Ayana. That's what she said, just like that. I saved the footage. I'll show it to you. But so what she was saying was, she was like, you got to get off of this kick that you have some masculine energy. You got to come like a lady, like a woman, like, you know what I'm saying? Just because he doesn't have what you have doesn't mean he's not a good man. Doesn't mean he's not a good thing. But, and that's not really what this conversation is about. The conversation was really, how do we call it a time, but I think what we're looking for is, what is the character that we'll see that will let people into our lives, right?
It's the character that you're not battling. Mm-hmm. It's the character that you're not battling, because
you're not battling.
Yes, because if you had past history or past hurt or trauma in something, mm-hmm. and someone else comes with none of that in mindset, and they present themselves in something even similar, you're automatically going to default to your past. So
Well, no,
in
you can
essence,
we can assess what's in front of
no,
you.
I'm saying they're gonna manly balls things. If I went in, not with balls because women have none, but with a grind, a mindset to dig and get it done and work hard, they attribute that to masculinity. Because again, a female that had gotten from 0 to 100 without any support from a male, then we get categorized and we get stereotyped. So it's harder to date. So we dummy down just so that you won't feel intimidated. So we don't tell you all the goods we have. So then when we do come and we start setting the tone saying, hey, will you have a problem doing this, and this because I'm familiar with it. Now, if I was broke and said, hey, do you have problems with me and my kids? Because I got 4 kids and my mom stay with us. And you can come stay with, I got Kool-Aid, I got this and this. And you like, yeah, she's good, somebody to hang out with, but she ain't wife material because she comes with this. Now, if she comes with money, you don't say that she's masculine when she's giving you all she got. And it may not look appealing or it may not look all with a whole bunch of whistles and bells on. But somebody that comes send you a car. Hey, we're gonna fly out to New Orleans because I got some business to do. But I want to know if you got a problem with going with me. Can you quit your job? I can put you on payroll. Oh, she thinks she wants something. She ain't on me. She ain't, man, I'm a man. You don't walk up on me like that, girl. So you dang if you do. And you dang if you don't.
Nope, you're not dang if you do, and you're dang if you don't.
I feel like it's a standard that is set for
sets the stage
again
for everything.
It was the same situation.
I had a woman gonna take care of me for the rest of my life, and her daddy was about to give me 4 McDonald's franchises. All I had to do was train and go to work and marry his daughter. Period.
Right.
They were as loving and as friendly and as sweet of people in the world, but the expectations was that I wanted to run their business. And as sweet as they were,
right,
I was like, that's not my journey. And they don't seem to be interested
in your journey,
in my journey. In fact, they haven't asked one time what my journey was. In fact, they are already offering, well, you can have a home here. We'll get you these cars, and but in the end, you're gonna show up for work every day and make shit happen. Well, so here's what's happening. What's happening is that this family was looking at the opportunity to maintain the strength of their business and not necessarily counting the character of who I am and what I was looking to accomplish in play. And I'm not saying there was anything wrong with that, right? They were. It's like a queen or a king looking for their next advocate, right? And he was getting old, and he was like, well, I got it, but he never asked me one time if I wanted to be in this business.
Right.
What he did was he took me on Saturday morning, got me in the car. He said, yeah, and we own that right there.
Right.
We own that right there. And we went in and he bossed up the place. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what about the things I need to accomplish? You ain't saying none of that. And so,
my question to you was, at any point did you tell him that?
I didn't need to.
Wait, stop right there. Stop right there. Because if he thought that him giving you his hand, showing you everything that he got, and that he was willing to give it to you, not just because you willing to marry his daughter, but because this was this man's life work. He just thought he was passing on wealth to a new generation. If at some point you said, hey, that is such a kind gesture, I love your daughter anyway, you may want to give it to her, and I'm going to be going in this direction. Is that a problem? Then you would have actually put it on fair playing grounds to where he would have had time to respond, or hire somebody, hire it out, sell them, do whatever it is that he was going to do. But it was not mandated that you take it just because he offered.
Exactly. And it was
but I still would have dated the girl because
this is why I love this conversation, because it opens up a dialogue where you hear the difference.
Absolutely.
See, you can be stubborn one way, but then you hear the other way, because one of the things I can say, what I learned here, is there's more ways they could have been handled.
Absolutely.
And if we catch that, then we can understand why relationships can improve. And that's why activate your mind. Quit looking at it one way. It don't have to be one-sided. There's multiple ways. And that's why we're giving this to y'all from our hearts, from what we can say failures. I don't want to say the relationship I had with her was a failure because again, we just didn't date no more, but we still talk. You know, it's very that we always gonna communicate because I didn't go to a place where she don't trust me.
Because y'all became friends.
Right. We never ghost each other or anything. It's just
let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Why was the friend zone, a safer zone than the dating zone?
Her expectation of what she wanted in a man, and what she came with a lot of expectations that I didn't feel.
And you don't have to talk to her every day.
Yes. Oh, I can hear a lot to you there. She had high expectations on. Yeah, you thoroughly need to know where you. She might put a tracker on you. She wanted to know a lot of things, and it had to be get off the phone. If you say I'm gonna call you back in an hour and 2 minutes, she called like what happened? It became too much. It was always wanting something.
So that's a narcissistic
behavior. That is also, and then it also has a lot to do with her past.
It did, but I didn't know.
Yeah, making sure she don't get hurt again, don't get burned, don't get taken, and I completely get
that. But it's putting me in a position that
it does, because what you're doing is you're pushing your past on someone else that did not subscribe to that. Exactly. So you can't take your past. You have to get the healing. So for that reason, you have to not date yet and get that part taken care of. And sometimes it's not something you can do by yourself. You need to have that open dialogue. I feel like therapy, activate your mind, is a form of therapy.
Yes,
that you can be able to write it out. Pray it out, and speak to someone about whatever it is that you need. There are so many sessions that you can take with Kraft. You can actually call him and he will meet you, you know what I'm saying? And he will talk to you one-on-one or in a group form.
It ain't for free.
But either way, you will still be able to get that dialogue that you would need in order to activate your mind and change your mindset. So I say that to say it was great that you have that relationship, because it wasn't a play against your character, and it wasn't to undermine you. She was just saying you thought she had it all together, because money don't make you have it all together.
It's a long way from making it. Yeah, we learned that
a lot of people
way.
realize that money, the Bible says money answereth all things. It answereth all things, but it depends on how you use it if it becomes the root. Because if that's all you can say, well, I got money, so I got everything. No, because she had low self-esteem, obviously.
And listen, how many women, and this was one of my greatest fears over my years as my daughter was coming up away from me. Don't let her get sideswiped by the bag. Some dude come, big cars, big money, taking her on trips, and next thing you know, she got a child or two, and she's in a hellhole.
Stacey, I can attest. I love that, because I did the same thing with my daughter. Before she met she knew her mom and dad. We bought her all the jewelry. We bought her all the took her on the different trips. So she wasn't wooed or mesmerized, because my mom and my daddy did that for me. So she knew how to be treated. So she wasn't just wooed by the stuff.
Anything else.
Absolutely.
Or by anybody else.
So her first thing was, hey, do you know Jesus? And that was something that was textbook. And she took
I know you was proud of that. I know you was proud of that.
It blessed me so, because that's the part after 18, I have to let go and let God. So with that being said, even though I may still be like, "Ooh, girl, let's pray." If God keep them there, it's something He's working out, and I'm not God. So you have to take your hands off your life and your kids, and take your mouth off people.
That's right.
Because you don't know what God is doing in their lives actually get them to that next level.
That's right. That's right. Listen, we are just about out of time.
We out.
The question of the day is, what's a good time frame to know somebody before you date them? And I think I heard a couple of outstanding answers. When you're ready, you gotta feel it, right? And I love what you said, Ursula. You gotta be led. Right? There's something saying, "Ooh, I may see some fault. I may see some past. I may see some challenges, some weak straw, but I also see something possible. And I'm led. I pray to the Lord of this place. Take these people to the Lord, because He'll tell you to bring them in, and He'll tell you to keep them away, right? He won't tell you to throw anybody away, because we're not in the business of throwing people away. But there are people who come into your world, they need to be placed in a certain position. And if you don't place them, sometimes they can get too close and start stealing. And start stealing your power, start stealing your dreams.
That's good.
Right? I think everyone will ultimately tell you where they belong in your life if you just listen long enough.
There you go.
Right?
That's the answer.
See, I don't put people in a place in my life. I let them and their actions put them in a place in my life. And wherever they place themselves, sometimes they place themselves in my heart, and I'll love them forever. But many of them will place themselves in my life, but outside of the gate. And they'll never be able to come in, because I have discerned that they have the ability to hurt, destroy, tear down, or whatever, right? Past behavior equals future behavior. So what we're talking about here is assessing people.
It is.
We're talking about listening, asking questions, and discerning the character of the people that are coming into your life. And it's unfortunate, but we have to protect ourselves from nonsense. We have to protect ourselves from people who have wrong intentions. And it's just a great idea to make sure that you understand who's coming into your world. That way you can make sure that they don't do any damage, and you can make sure you're not missing the mark of opportunity in your life, in your own relationships.
That's good. Can I jump in there?
Yeah.
And the Bible says, guard your heart with all diligence.
Yes.
Because out of the heart, the mouth speaks.
Yes.
So you have to guard your heart. And what I also love, Kraft, what you said was where you place a person, and that's where they actually put themselves. But I'm gonna do a step further. Wherever they are, and God placed them in my life, because He's about His business is people, and He is passionate about the people you serve, whether you think they deserve it or not. You just do what God asks you to do, and love will conquer or cover the multitude of sin. If you let God show up and show out, I promise you, He will cover whoever it is that you are actually ministering to. And we do it by day-to-day words, encouraging. That's a seed. Every time you do something, it's a seed. And the Bible says, whatever you do for somebody else, God will make happen for you. So I'm always looking to impress God, not man, but God, so that He will know I was about His business, and He'll take care of mine.
And I think,
boy, that's the end of the show right there. I ain't touching that one.
Perfect close for this show.
She didn't miss.
I love
serving the Lord. That's the name of the game.
Yes.
Listen, this has been Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy School Jay, and we have the sweet Ursula in the house tonight.
Did that tonight.
Did that. So much value. Let's give her a round of applause tonight. Thank you for being on the show with us. You truly add value to what we do, because one of the challenges, we just don't get a real woman's perspective. And we've had a lot of women on this show, and they were just one tonight left field. So we're truly grateful for what you brought to the table. It means a lot. And folks, we want to thank you for being here with us tonight. Hopefully this show has done something for your spirit. It has given you some nuggets of wisdom, some inspiration. Perhaps it's a situation you're currently in. You figured out now how you need to listen and how you need to think about moving forward. We hope it has added value. We're here every Thursday from 7 to 8, Facebook Live. We've got over 400 shows for you to dive into. It's a great way. These conversations are healing exercises.
Yes, they are.
Listen to some of these shows. We do a lot of laughing, but mostly there's some wisdom and there's some healing there. So I encourage you to participate, and never ever forget, the reason that we do these shows is because we love you and we appreciate you. And with that, we are out.
Bye.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk.